What's up, influencers? That's right, the VI show is back, and today we're talking about how to get more subscribers and views. And specifically, we've got Cannell talking about the 5 video ideas for you to actually start getting those views right now for your YouTube channel. I'm gonna cut right to him because I'm excited to have Sean on the show. Sean, how are you doing today?
Benji, I am fired up and super pumped to be back with you on Video Influencers and really share some video ideas that I'm sure if people implement them are going to get them more views. And so I'm excited.
Absolutely. And you guys, hit that like button if you're excited. Of course, here on the VI show, we're helping build your influence, income, impact with online videos. And I'm going to jump right into it. And you're going to get some amazing information. So have your notepads out. But Sean, what is the first video idea that people should be exploring that could get them views right now?
Yeah, the first video idea is doing a review video. I think what's powerful, and let's talk about the mistake that I think people make sometimes first, is some people start YouTube and they title their video something like, "What I Ate for Lunch Today." Now, I know that's kind of extreme. Maybe you're not making those types of videos, but it's maybe even like, "My husband and I go for a walk." And that's kind of inward focus when you're trying to grow your channel. When you have a small channel, nobody knows you yet. But here's the thing. And we'll give you 5 ideas, but number 1, if you review a product, there's maybe somebody looking for a particular product, like a Pendleton bike or like a Ninja blender, or maybe like something like CBD to help them sleep or something. So this is an example of a video I made on my personal channel years ago, actually, and it did amazing. It did 89,000 views. And when you think about it, the key here is if you do a product review that ties into your niche. On this channel, I talk about health products, biohacking, things like that. Then it also should attract subscribers that would be into what you're into. So the question is, what kind of products could you review that would attract the right type of subscriber to your channel?
Yeah, for sure. And one thing I love about this is everybody buys products. So you already know what the vibe is like when you're looking for a product review. And so whatever your niche is, there's probably something you can start reviewing. And a lot of people don't know this, but Sean, you started with product reviews. By the way, not just with cameras and lighting and audio equipment, you were doing reviews for everything. You were kind of testing the waters. So I absolutely think this is an amazing way to get started. And just this is what I tell people: reverse engineer your behavior on YouTube. When you're looking to buy something, you probably search in Google or on YouTube, and oftentimes it's the review that triggers the purchase. And so how can you present the products that fall under your niche or your genre of content that would actually create that connection? Because I think that's like literally the beginning of a relationship, so that you can build that trust to get them to subscribe to your channel, so you can get opened up to doing other things. The number one mistake, like you said, Sean, people are just kind of like shooting from the hip, doing whatever they think, is fun for them, not realizing in the very beginning it's important to deliver that value to somebody first so that you can have those options later. Anything else you want to add before you get into video idea number 2?
I would just pass the question off to the influencers watching. Have you done a product review before, or what is a product review idea that you have that would attract your ideal audience? Tell us in the comment section below. And number 2 is a versus video. Now, this is one of my favorite video formats, and I've done this a ton over the years. And so what a versus video really could be is I did camcorder versus DSLR. Like, versus videos are something that people really search. I had Pat Flynn and we talked about podcasting. We talked about really YouTube versus podcasting. I do a lot of tech videos. And so Sony A6400 versus the M50. Omar recently did the Shure SM7 MV7 versus the SM7B, G7X Mark III versus Mark II. And you can see that 82,000, almost 300,000, 33,000 views, because people want comparisons for these different types of videos. But you also could do things like capitalism versus socialism. Like you could do a lot of different versus two different ideologies, two different products, podcasting versus YouTube, Clubhouse versus Twitter Spaces. And versus is something that people are just looking for. Like a lot of times, Benji, you and I, we did IGTV versus YouTube
Oh
the
my
day
gosh, yeah.
IGTV dropped, and we were at VidCon, and that video blew up because immediately when kind of two comparing things popped up, people were looking for the answer. And of course, we do cameras and YouTube, social media advice, but this can work in like any niche. And again, Blendtec versus Ninja Blender, it also could tie into product reviews. So a super powerful strategy.
Yeah, totally. And sometimes what the value in this strategy is because people are on the fence, right? Do I go with Sony? Do I go with Canon? And so it's very interesting to get somebody's perspective that's already went both routes, that already bought two things. And so I think that it also leans to the fact that it can be polarizing, right? I know you've done this a lot with the Sony Canon. It can get a lot of attention because beyond the actual value you're delivering to help someone make that decision on whether they should buy this one or that one, there's like crazy fans for those. So it happens in all different types of products, all different types of brands, but especially Canon or Sony. And so I want to ask you the question, influencers, are you in the Canon camp or are you in the Sony camp? I know that I just got Sean to convert over to Sony. Are you still with Sony, Sean? That's my first question for you before you go to video idea number 3.
Yeah, I'm still a massive Canon M50 fan as one of the best cameras to start doing YouTube with, especially if you get it refurbished. It's like under $500. But yeah, as far as like pro gear and higher end gear, we use all Sony A7S IIIs now at Think Media in Arizona, LA, and Las Vegas. So it also puts all the footage on the same level. And if we share it on Dropbox, it all looks the same. So we all have the same camera. That camera is ridiculous though, Benji. It's like $3,500 just for the body. And so I want to encourage people, the best camera to have is the one you already do have, and you can always level up as you go.
Right, for sure. So, Sean, my next question for you is this. What is video idea number 3 that's going to help people get more views and subscribers in 2021 that they can start executing on right now to drive traffic to their channel?
Yeah, again, the mistake people make is they talk about themselves, or if your title has I in it, or what we did today, you and your family, you and your friends. Again, people don't know you yet. So you can try whatever kind of video formats you want. But what if you tie into something they do know? They already know a product. They already know they're looking for a comparison. And the third one, Benji, is a person. Can you talk about a person? And here's an example is on Think Media, I made a video called the Joe Rogan Podcast Formula. And it was about video podcasting. Now, of course, the fact that Joe Rogan's in the thumbnail is helpful. Now, here's a little hack. When I first started this video, I made a thumbnail with both Joe and me in it. And after about a week or two, I changed it to just Joe, because for the first week, I mean, everybody knows Joe Rogan, but not maybe everybody knows him. So they know me. So they see my face. They're subscribed and recognizing me. They see both of us. But then I flipped it and did Joe solo. And now this is one of the top videos when you search video podcasting. And, the way you do this is you just are saying, hey, one of the most powerful ways to create content on YouTube is video podcasting. And really the godfather of video podcasting is Joe Rogan. So you're tying into what we call influence surfing or influencer surfing, because you're not just talking about yourself. Nobody maybe knows you yet, but they know Joe Rogan. And then you're kind of teaching out and educating around that. One of my favorite channels is called Charisma on Command. And it's a great example. Charlie, friend of mine who started this channel, originally, not a lot of people know Charlie. To this day, they still might not really know him, but they do know Keanu Reeves, right? Yeah, they do know the guy from Mad Men. And so they do know Cobra Kai, right? So it's tying into people that are known. The promise of this video is if you want to get views and more subscribers, especially if you have a small channel or you're just starting, how can you step out from what you did today, what you ate today, and just kind of your own point of view, and maybe tie that in to either a product, a versus video, or in this case, a person?
For sure. You know, this is the best way for somebody that has no influence, that's starting from 0 subscribers, to really crack into somebody else's influence. You know, Evan Carmichael does this really well on his channel. In fact, I knew more about his channel and the videos he put out before I ever knew about him. I literally met him at an event and go, oh, that was your channel? Because he was doing this content. By the way, this strategy for him has helped him gain millions of subscribers, one of the biggest subscriber bases in our niche in terms of, you know, like adding value and motivation, all that good stuff. So I know for sure this works. Sean, what is video idea number 4 that's going to really help people level up, get more views, and ultimately build a better YouTube channel?
Yeah, you know, the next one is trends. And so people know products, they know comparisons, they know they're looking for maybe somebody they recognize or know, like a Joe Rogan. The next one is the trends. Trends. What are trending things that are happening? One of our students just crossed 100,000 subscribers. He has a news channel, and so he constantly is able to talk about the latest things happening in politics from his political point of view. There's trends, of course, happening in news. And one example to illustrate this was I did a video recently on Clubhouse. And what ended up happening was I was just doing a Q&A, and I really didn't know that question was going to come out, but I thought, hey, let's just snip it. It was 11 minutes of content. Ended up talking about Clubhouse. As an aside, this is my son, Sean Bradley Cannell, and so he joined me for this video as we kind of defined what Clubhouse was, and just put that video out there. But here's the deal: like, there's so many people talking about Clubhouse right now. It's such a trending moment, and this video started to rank for Clubhouse versus YouTube. What is Clubhouse? Clubhouse app. And man, I should have even maybe put some thought into this video, because I literally just shot from the hip when someone asked me. Now, you and me both, Benji, have been spending a lot of time on Clubhouse, so I've thought a lot about it.
A little bit too much.
That's right. But nevertheless, it's a trending topic. It's a new thing. It's a new, again, the title wasn't like Sean's ideas for the day. It was Clubhouse. Like, that is something outside of myself that is trending. And not only that, but people, as it even gets more awareness, this video is like catching fire because people keep discovering it. And if you don't know what Clubhouse is, you can definitely check out that video. For better or worse, the video is the good, the bad, and the ugly. And that's also kind of funny, Benji, is, you know, I like to rinse and repeat certain titles, like smart titles. We used the same title back when we did IGTV at VidCon. It was like IGTV, the good, the bad, and the ugly, or something like that. So yeah. It's just funny. I was like, what is the Clubhouse app? And turned it kind of into like rinse and repeat. Like, these strategies will help you get views. And maybe not everyone will. Maybe you shoot for a trend and it's not as hot as you think. But when you start making videos like this, I just promise you your views are going to go up if you put some good content on the other side.
Oh, yeah. This is literally one of the #1 tips Daryl Eves gives to his, students to get more views. Say you're just struggling. Say you've got quality content, Sean, and you're doing everything right in the title, and your thumbnails are fire, and you're just struggling to really make some movement. Oftentimes, it could literally just be you're in a competitive niche, or maybe you're not niched down enough. The #1 way to really break in outside of actually niching down, or maybe exploring a different niche, is literally these trends. And so a great example would be like in my world, right? Food hacks. Usually the best way to see what is trending is you go to TikTok, you go to short form content platforms, and you can see these. And so that's, you want to give a boost to your views, because guess what? There's massive amounts of attention on that trend right now. So you might actually be able to tap into an audience that's much bigger at the moment than just your normal, food recipe type of video. I totally agree with this. So Sean, we're almost here at the end. If you guys are new, hit that like button if you're getting value. Subscribe for more videos like this. Sean and I, we interview other influencers who are crushing it in the space. So you can expect a lot of great stories, a lot of strategies, as well as, Sean and I, once in a while we go live on here. I've got the VI show on Saturday, so make sure you subscribe for more content like that. But Sean, hit us with the last video idea for people to get massive amounts of views today on YouTube in 2021.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this last video idea, so you're not going to want to miss it. But I want to actually add a little more value on finding trends because TL Travel asked, I feel like trends is so hard for travel right now, unless you're talking about where you can and cannot go. And so here's a tool if I was in your situation. I would go to Google, I would type in your niche, your keyword, and I would go to news, and I would start just checking out what news is happening related to travel, and I would start potentially spotting some trends. The other thing you can do is you can actually go to Google News, which is slightly a different interface, news.google.com. And I type in something like travel, and you might be able to look at this Washington Post article, how to plan summer travel for 2021. And so I might click through on here and then start learning that how many people have received the vaccine, things about that, what to expect for, and I would maybe take the information from this. In fact, this is a huge power tip that is super funny that a lot of people don't notice. But if you look at some really big brands, I think about Grant Cardone. He has, like he used to before the pandemic, 5 shows a week, Young Hustlers, the Cardone Show. If you look at Dave Ramsey, and he's killing it on YouTube, and he has all the Ramsey personalities. One of those is Chris Hogan. And one of the things Chris Hogan will do, and Grant Cardone does the same thing, Dave does the same thing, they'll be like 7 traits of everyday millionaires. And they'll be like, hey, insiders, today I'm excited to talk about, we're going to talk about these 7 things from a recent MSNBC article. And all he does is read the news. So if you were to make a video like summer travel, what you could be doing to travel this summer, summer travel planning, you're like, hey, I was checking out this Washington Post article. I just wanted to share with you these 5 things and kind of give you my take on it. Sometimes I think we're trying to so desperately come up with original content. I see Grant do it all the time. He's like, Entrepreneur Magazine shares 6 ways to invest your money. And then he's like, I don't agree with any of these. And it kind of is a jump off point to like what he wants to talk about. But I think a lot of us, you want to, when you're stuck at home, specifically TL Travel, you might just talk about news related to travel. The headlines are already written for you. You can take your own take on them by using Google News, kind of Google trends and different things. Find those articles and maybe summarize some points and deliver that to the audience. Never forget, a lot of people, don't even know the tip I just shared and don't even know how to find news online. But also a lot of people want that news in video format. And so sometimes I'll be watching Chris Hogan and he'll be like 10 big mistakes that people make when planning for retirement. And I'm like, that's interesting. Press play. I'm chilling and I'm eating lunch and I'm letting the watch time play out. And all he's doing is like reading somebody else's article to me, of course, with personality and context. But that gives you the sustainability and ability to create more content, even if you're stuck at home, especially in the travel niche.
Exactly. And, I love that you brought up Grant Cardone because he's literally doing what we were just talking about, hacking into somebody else's, not just influence, but authority, right? You talked about Newsweek. And so maybe they don't even know Grant Cardone, but they know Newsweek, right? It's a very respected publication. So I love that. So, okay, let's get right into it though, Sean. What is the 5th and final idea for people to capitalize on to get more views on their YouTube channel?
Yeah, the last one is locations. And so you've maybe seen a theme here. If you're talking about, they don't know you yet, but they know they want to get a tour of the new Nintendo theme park. They know they want to see a location that is related to Disneyland or a particular restaurant or a particular hiking trail. And so experimenting vlogging back in the day, and I've done a lot of different niches. I was on my personal channel and I did this video called Las Vegas horseback riding. And when I was early on, 8 years ago, on my vlog channel, I'm on a horse. Yeah, that's right. And people didn't know my vlog channel, but a lot of people searched Las Vegas horseback riding because it's actually, you can rent the horses, it's a service, it's a tourist attraction. So again, even if you're a vlogger, your title could be, here's the cool thing about these. You don't have to like do any one of these only. They just are a tool for your arsenal to potentially title a video a certain way and get more views by tying your content into a particular location. So what restaurant, hiking trail, when you travel, something in your city, something that's being searched, and it probably doesn't rank anymore, but let me even look down here. Yeah, I typed in like Las Vegas horseback riding for years, looking at this kind of vidIQ keyword. It was like rank number 5, rank number 6, and therefore, when you're just starting, it got almost 6,000 views. Tying into a location can be really powerful.
Totally. And one thing I love about this is any niche can capitalize on it. Say I was going to start a juicing channel and I'm just into, green juices, slow juicers versus normal juicers, organic ingredients. Do you have to use organic ingredients? The way I would take advantage of this, if I was in Seattle, I would literally talk about the 5 best juicing spots in Seattle, right? To give me a little bit of content. Because like say somebody in Seattle wants to go to the 5 best. I know personally, as someone that loves juicing, I often will look up on Google Maps. But guess what? If it showed up on Google search results or on YouTube, I'd want to look at it. If I was going to Seattle, and want to go to the 5 best, especially if it was from somebody that was really into juicing, because not all juice places are the same. And I'll say it right now, Jamba Juice is nowhere near like a pressed juicery. So I think this is a great thing. Another thing to piggyback on your travel tip. Eric Conover is somebody I've interviewed here on Video Influencers years ago, and he wanted to be a travel vlogger. That was his whole goal, but he was working full-time at a hotel and didn't have the kind of money to jump on a plane to Fiji to do a travel vlog. Let's be real. It costs a lot of money. I mean, you could do it the cheap way, right? But if you've got a full-time job and you don't have that much money, it's very difficult. So what he did was exactly what you just mentioned, Sean. He literally looked up all the trendy places, all the top tourist spots in New York City. He did vlogs, like daily vlogs all around places that people would want to go to, made them very like search friendly so that when you search, about the Empire State Building, his videos would pop up. And guess what? Over the course of a year, and he was really grinding. I don't think everybody has to do this, but he daily vlogged for a whole year. He was able to start a travel channel because by the time the year ended, he was getting requests to go to different countries. He was getting different travel brand sponsorships and was able to basically jumpstart his travel vlog channel, all while just staying in New York City the whole time. So ask yourself, no matter where you live, what are the aspects of your area that relate to your niche that you could be covering, you could be creating content around to get your foot in the door in terms of search results. Sean, anything else you'd want to add before we go into Q&A?
No, I think that these tips are very practical and something that you could pick one out right now. So let me know in the comments, which one did you like best, and which one gave you an idea for maybe a video you could create next? Is it a review of a product? And here's the thing, man. Like we get into these ruts where we're like, well, no, I daily vlog. Like my audience expects me that I only vlog. Well, you could do a product. You could do anything you want. It's your tube. It's YouTube. You can experiment with the video, add your own flavor to it, and you could drop a review video. Of course, it's up to you to architect your content and decide what your brand is. But I especially think if you feel like you're stuck, you're trying to grow, you're still in that whatever a small YouTuber means, you need to give yourself a lot more permission to experiment. So could you do a review video? Could you do a versus video? And think about it. It could be like Cancun versus Hawaii, and you're a travel channel. You know what I mean? Like you've been 2 places, Wendy's versus Jack. I don't know. And then could you tie into a person? Could you talk about a person? And that doesn't have to be controversial. A highly recommended episode is that Benji interviewed Emily Baker, and her channel's popping off because she's a lawyer commentating on the legal things that are happening between YouTube and content creators and celebrities. But that's kind of more the controversial angle. I went like the edification angle of like, look what we can learn from Joe Rogan. Like here's some observations that you can imitate of how Joe Rogan does a video podcast. So there's lots of different ways to tie into people. And then trends, what kind of trends could you use? Or is there some locations? And if you use a keyword tool, and we'll definitely link tools in the description down below, vidIQ is a great tool for using their keyword research tool, looking at how much search volume and actually thinking like, huh, I didn't know that people were searching for this particular hiking trail in Minnesota that is, 1,000 people a month. And maybe you tying into that could be the key to boosting some of your views. And then remember, all of this is an opportunity to meet somebody that you don't know yet. And then it's up to you to make a connection with some of those people and build know, like, and trust. A lot of people that watched my horseback video were probably like, cool. I don't want to subscribe. I just wanted an idea of what the horseback riding was like. But a portion of people are like, huh, seems like a cool couple. And at the time we were vlogging, I think I want to subscribe, maybe watch the other aspects of their life. So YouTube is kind of like fishing. You're putting these different, each video is like a fishing pole that you have out in the water. Benji, last time I was up in Seattle hanging with my mom, we were going to take the ferry out to like Whidbey Island, and we had to wait for a while. And there was this dude on the pier with like 5 fishing poles. Why? So he could actually have more opportunities to catch fish. Not just one, he had them all set up and he was just like chilling with 5 hooks in the ocean. You can use these 5 video ideas to be like hooks in the ocean of YouTube to just give you a chance to maybe connect with somebody that could become a lifelong subscriber and even a super fan.
That's right, you guys. Hey, if you got value out of that, hit that like button. If you want to check out all these videos, make sure you click or tap the screen right here. If you guys want to get more content about cameras, about technology, around creating better content, and ultimately reaching more people, make sure you go check out Sean's channel, Think Media TV. We'll talk to you guys later.